Dave, a strange night tonight. Some strange decisions as well during the evening. What's your overriding emotion at the end of that game?
Broken record in terms of. I said it on Saturday. You've just said coming up there, we'll get a £1,000 fine for having 7 bookings, not been a tackle in the game. Another penalty decision that's so wrong, you can't speak about it. But I thought when we made the changes and when we went to 10 men, we showed a bit more. And that's probably the biggest disappointment for me. There was people there had opportunities to put themselves forward and say that I'm an important member of this squad, I can be in that team, and in large part I don't think they did it.
You've always said that, haven't you, in fairness? You've always said, I want players to show me, to demonstrate to me.
And,
do you think anybody did tonight?
No, not that. Didn't show anything that I didn't already know. And when we make the changes and we introduce some pace and make it frantic and them sort of things, then we look a better team and we look more. It's more of our type of game. If it's a team that technically, in reality, should be better than what you are, and in terms of speed, they are fleet of foot, and we probably didn't have fast players in certain areas, but that is what it is. I think, like I say, from our perspective, it's about showing that you're ready for that opportunity and ready for that chance. And like I say, in the main, I thought we started the game okay. And you can sometimes come into these games, I just said at the end there, sometimes these games can be a little bit, because we make changes, straight away a perception will be that the game's not important. Well, in the grand scheme of things, when you compare it to other games, it's not as important. So it's not as important as what Saturday was or next Saturday is. And sometimes there'll be a player's perception that this is a bit of a stitch up. I'm playing in a game and I've got everything to lose and nothing to gain, when it's quite the opposite. And sometimes when you play in training ground games, they're not quite at the tempo, but let's be clear, we've played a game tonight in front of 5,500 fans. Most, or a lot of League Two clubs don't get that for home fixtures. Good atmosphere created by a packed away end and our supporters joining in as well. So big opportunities and like I say, in most instances, opportunities missed.
Ironically, the sending off proved a little bit of a catalyst and actually got you back into the game in a bizarre way. But what did you make of the sending off for Ryan Crowsdale?
Again, you're back to the point of, in all of this, I almost get why they're doing it, but there needs to be some common sense. As football changed completely, we've been involved in games last year and we can point at it and go, that might have cost us promotion, when referees managed games and said that wasn't worthy of a second yellow. Again, that was a new one on me. Ryan Rydell's picked up a booking for time wasting in the 67th minute when we're losing 1-0. What are you? Where's the common sense in that? And we almost get to a point where, if you want to be dead picky, to say, well, their keeper had hold of it longer than Ryan had hold of it for the throw-in, so it almost becomes, oh, he's done that, so he should get booked. And it's stupid. It's stupid at the moment. And the important thing is, one, they're getting the big decisions wrong. That's the most important bit. It seems that it's gone the other way, and they're worried about what you would call time wasting, taking a little bit of time on a throw-in. Sometimes that's down to good defending. So what should we do? Just get the ball back on the pitch straight away, or should we put walls around it so the ball doesn't go off the pitch? And getting the big ones wrong. There's not been a bad tackle in the game. Crosby's not really touched the lad. If anything, he's touched him with his arm, but again, is it sending off? If that's a sending off, then there will be a situation. Well, there have already been situations where games are going to be spoilt for people who are paying good money to come and watch, because referees are removing players from the pitch and it spoils the spectacle. It didn't spoil the spectacle tonight because, listen, we made changes. The subs we made, in reality, we probably had made anyway, because the lads were going to do a little bit of work in terms of top-up, so it felt better they go and have almost a warm-up, a little bit of a razz for 10-15 minutes, as it was with time I did on it. It was 20 minutes, which saves in doing stuff after the game, but did change the dynamic of it for us, and we showed good resilience in that spell.
A few debuts tonight. Billy Chadwick as an outfield player and Josh Papula as well. How do you think they did? I mean, Josh had a golden opportunity, didn't he, after 10 minutes? It could have been very different.
Started the game well. Just needs to, again, has raw attributes, needs to understand it. It's about game understanding for Josh. So when you simplify it and leave him, as we started with, almost as a wing back, if you like, and he's touchline wide and it's very simple, he's fine. When you ask him to do things a little bit differently and almost have that game intelligence at this level to not just rely on your physical attributes, then that's where he needs the learning. But he has, like I say, the ability to go past people, to accelerate in tight areas, and I say started the game really well and could have had made a great run, like I say, and a chance for the opportunity when he ends up and he just misses the target. Billy, I thought, struggled to get into the game, and he's a finisher now. In those
more
instances,
of a Paddy type, maybe.
Yeah, from a side though. So, and again, he's going to be tested around levels, isn't it? Because if you haven't got a trick or you haven't got that yard of pace, then it becomes a case of getting into the areas often enough to get the ball to be able to finish, and that for him is going to be in and around the penalty area, looking to shift and shoot and get shots away. He didn't get himself in those areas enough, and we, in terms of personnel, it was always going to be difficult, because if you did need to play forward, then we didn't really have a focal point. We didn't really have a huge threat in behind in terms of real rapid pace, and you're going to be in a situation where you're ready to drop on second balls. We didn't do that enough from probably 10 minutes onwards. We did much better for the last 20 minutes and got ourselves back in the game as a result of it.
You mentioned there not having a focal point. You've got maybe 9 days, I think, for the transfer window to close. Do you see yourself doing something about that, do you think? Or have you got resources to do that? Or do you need to do it with what you've got in the camp?
We're trying. But it's, again, I've said it before, and even more so, it's important that you get the right ones in. We need to get ones that ultimately are going to affect the starting team. And we've seen and we've noticed, again, since the window's open, the striker market is ridiculous. Some of the fees being paid for strikers at clubs at our level is crazy. And probably as a result of that, you look at us in terms of what we've got, like what's out at the moment, but massively valuable commodity for us, as is Tanto, as is Paddy. So we've got forwards that are there, but unfortunately at the moment, like I say, we've got a couple of injured, Stretts included in that, and we are looking to add, but like I say, they need to be ones that are going to be effective for us, effective in League Two. Ideally, you want tried and tested and proven, but again, there aren't many teams that have got tried and tested and proven goal scorers or strikers that are saying, go on, get yourself out of the building, we'll let you go somewhere else. So, but listen, we'll keep working hard and look at what options are there. There will be other things open up as the window draws to a close, if you like. Ideally, you'd have them been already, but that's not been the case.
Just finally, Dave, Mansfield obviously away on Saturday. Will Macca be fit for that one, or will anybody else be coming back for that one that will be available?
No, Macca won't be fit. Again, he's a similar scenario to Campsey in terms of landing on his shoulder, so he's done some damage there. Again, another freak one. We're not blessed at the moment with a ridiculous return of injuries. So he's feeling okay. Don't get me wrong. He's presenting a lot better than what Campsey was, but the reality is there's some damage in his shoulder. We've got to make sure that settles, because the first time that he falls on a straight arm or he lands on his shoulder again, there's going to be issues. So I would imagine he'll be at least a few weeks, and if he's sooner, as I say, that becomes a bonus.
Okay, Dave, thanks for your time. Unlucky tonight.
Cheers, John. Thank you.